I thought I would do a little bit of a different video today because I had to pick up, well, I haven't had to pick up, but I picked up a few new things for my closet, which is as ultra minimal as ever. But I actually just wanted to do a little, because since the last time that I showed what was in my ultra minimal closet was when I did that change around and I got rid of pretty much everything and I just had the organic cotton clothing. But I've picked up a few different things, and two of them are still organic cotton, so I'm very happy about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna tell you what new stuff I got, why I got it. This is one of the new things I got. And I'm also just going to show how I keep my closet like as minimal as it is, because like almost like, you know, barely anything in it. And I genuinely think I could probably cull another 20 to 30% and I would still have enough to wear. And I just want to show that in case that it helps anybody or motivates someone to declutter their closet or to just have less stuff. Because one of the best things about it is everything's so much easier. It really makes such a big difference. Like it's so easy. Like it's easier for laundry, it's easier for making sure that the closet's tidy because there's not tons of stuff in there just thrown around everywhere. And it's just easier every single day for getting dressed and stuff like that as well. But like I said, I'm not gonna talk about the benefits right now. I'm just gonna show you what's in there, tell you the new things that I got and the couple of things that I still want to add. And like I said, just kind of share my tips for how I keep everything in my closet being as minimal as it is. So yeah, it's not just stuff for summer and then I've got like other things packed away and stuff like that. So it's actually, this is just like everything that I have and these little bit of items of clothing. What I'm trying to say is like I only have about 30 things in my closet, but it gets me through cold winters and hot summers and that's it. So like that's what I have for the whole year round. So yeah, let's get started. I'll show you what's in there first. Okay, so that's what I have hanging in my closet, which I think there's such a little bit in there, I can pretty much tell you like from memory what I have. I have two new black dresses, which are the ones I'm going to show you in a second. I've got 3 of my organic cotton cardigans from Pact. I have my new wool dress that I shared a few weeks ago that I picked up at the White Company, which is 100% wool, just trying to stick with those natural materials. And then I have a 100% silk White Company blouse. That was that white one. And then I have 3 like dresses. One is white. They're all like the exact same style. They're just different dresses. And I actually picked them up in different stores, just randomly, but they're like a linen and cotton mix. And one's white. It's like those kind of like princess dresses with the puffy sleeves, and then they're like midi dresses, so they're long, all the way kind of down to my ankles or just above, and they're like I said, like all 3 of them are the same pretty much. One's like stripy brown, one's like a cream with like really small, almost like glittery stripes, and then one's just like a plain white. And I'm pretty sure that that's all that I have hanging in my closet. And then you would have seen at the bottom there's like a little like stand thing, like a little metal stand thing that holds, in the bamboo circular box thing, that holds like all of my bras and underwears, which are all organic cotton from H&M. and they're all like identical. That's what's in the bottom bit of my closet. On the right hand side, hanging on the rail against the wall, as you saw, was just like a hat that I have. I actually do have two other hats. One of them I've misplaced, I'm not really sure where it is, and the other one's a brown one, which I think is in the wash because, yeah, like we took it to the beach and it got in the ocean or something like that. So so I do actually have three hats, not just one. But honestly, I could basically just have one because I don't need three hats. So they're just like baseball caps, three baseball caps. So I've got that, like that's what's like up against the right hand side of the wall is one baseball cap, the only necklace that I have, so that's the only bit of jewelry that I own. I don't have any other jewelry. I don't have earrings, I don't have bracelets or rings or anything like that. That is the only thing that I have, is that one necklace. I do have a few things that my mom has gifted me, but they're like tucked away. They're actually tucked away at the bottom where those books are, in a separate little like safekeeping box, because my mom gave them to me. But in terms of things that I might actually put on now that I'm breastfeeding less, that that one necklace is the only bit of jewelry that I have. And trust me, I really don't think you need any more. And this is not like a judgment on people that have like a whole bunch of jewelry and you like to accessorize. I used to be that person, so it doesn't matter. You can be whatever way you want to be. I've realized that you don't need that. So that's kind of been the big shift. Like, you just don't need all of that stuff. It wasn't making me happier. And in fact, I'm a lot happier now having a lot less stuff. And it's a lot easier because now I don't have like 50 necklaces that I look at and I think, should I wear this one? Should I wear that one? I used to like put it on and be like, oh, is that like, oh, that doesn't hang in there. Now it's just like, I've got one. It has like almost like safety clips, the way it like hooks. So I can like literally wear it as high up or as low down as I want. I don't know, it's like the perfect necklace for me. It's got like a little diamond bit in the middle of like a little sun/star. I don't know, it's just cool. And then the rest of it just looks like safety clips, so it's like a little bit punky, like a little bit nod to punk, but it actually makes all your outfits look like quite put together. So yeah, one necklace, basically one hat, because I'm probably gonna get rid of the other two. And I've got like two pairs of sunglasses that I just use to accessorize with, basically. So that's it. Like, that is everything that I have. And then on the shelf, it's really straightforward again. So on the left-hand side is all of my organic cotton stuff, which is the same stuff that I shared in that haul, like a few months back. So that's 2 pants, 2 leggings, and 3 tank tops, all of them organic cotton from Packed. And then next to that are the 2 new sweaters that I picked up a few weeks ago from the White Company, which are, I think, both also organic cotton. And next to that are like my leggings and like 3/4 leggings. It's like kind of like capris. In like the spring, when I wear like my midi dresses, sometimes it's too cold to just wear the dress, so I wear kind of like capri leggings under that. I wouldn't say it's like the coolest I wouldn't say it's like the coolest outfit in the world, but like when people see you, they just see you wearing a dress, so like it is fine if you're happy wearing dresses, like it looks cool. So that's what that little pile is, and I have it in black, in gray, and in dark brown, just to basically match what's in my color scheme of what colors I use. And then on top of that is sitting some of the new bits that I'll show you in a sec. And also hanging are my 2 new black dresses, which I will show you in a sec as well. And that's where I'll show you about, like, if I bring something new in, what do I do with the stuff that's there? How do I decide? And basically, how do I make sure that I'm not just like accumulating stuff and making sure that I'm letting things go, but not doing it in like a wasteful way, because otherwise, like, I think there's a little bit of a fine line where you're like, yeah, I'm a minimalist, but then also you're just like, maybe you're being wasteful because like you buy something and then you're like tired of something that you have and you get rid of it or you donate it. But yeah, my point is, like, I don't do that. It's few and far between when I do buy things, and that's also kind of why I can allow bringing things in, because I'm already so pared back. I don't have to like get rid of stuff just to like bring stuff in. But yeah, I'll talk about that when I show you my stuff. And then to the right of that is basically just kind of like loungewear and PJs. So nothing special, as well as just like my pants and jeans that really I'm not using at all right now because it's winter. Because it's summer. I'm not using like pants at all. So I've just got like, that's what's there. It's like my Ralph Lauren sweater, my jeans, and then stacked on top of that, because I'm not using that stuff, stacked on top of it is like my PJs and my loungewear. And that is literally everything that I have. Now, aside from that, you're wondering, okay, how do you cope in the winter? So in the winter, I've got 2 jackets. I've got a really long black puffer jacket that goes down past my knees. Just one of those really nice, like, black puffer ones that looks like quite put together. And then I've got like a short, like cream, it's not cream, it's almost like light beige, like off-white. With like a fur collar, and it's short, more like a jacket kind of thing. So I really used to like wearing that over like dresses and then over the knee boots. It's like a really easy winter uniform for me, basically. So that is everything that I own in my closet. That is everything that I have in there. And like I said, it takes me through all 4 seasons. So let me show you some of the new things I got, why I got them, and let me also tell you about how I make sure I keep everything minimal, so I'm not like over accumulating things. Okay, so these are the new bits that I've added to my closet. So the first thing is this t-shirt that I'm wearing. It's a band t-shirt, if you can see it. And then, so I just got myself 4 new band t-shirts. I actually didn't have any band t-shirts. I started with this so I can tell you the funny story first. So I've got the one I'm wearing, I have this one, and then I have this one. I got 2 Clash t-shirts because I thought that just like, I don't know, that looked cool and I liked the blue. But this one, you can't really tell that it's the Clash unless you know Joe Strummer well or you look up really close. So it actually just looks like a cool t-shirt. And then I got one of my favorite albums ever on a t-shirt. So yeah, I got that one as well. So yeah, I have 4 new t-shirts. These are not organic cotton, but they are at least 100% cotton. So, and the print is like, I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't go through to the other side. So it's not like, there's no plastic touching my body. So, yeah, so let me tell you the funny story about why I got band t-shirts. So, basically most of my life I was either, well, I'm still dating a musician now. I've either been dating or were musicians or just like that. So basically, like, I never really liked to wear band t-shirts because kind of like everybody else in that world wore band t-shirts and wore black, and I really kind of liked standing out and not looking in that kind of cliche way. And I also really, this is my favorite part, this is kind of really why I did this, I also really liked taking people, like surprising people, taking people by surprise every time they would talk to me. Like, especially like guys usually were the ones that would talk to me. But like just whenever you talk to someone and they were like, whatever, they'd start talking to me about music or something, and I could like really keep up, and I could tell them like, yeah, drummers and guitarists and all these different things that I was like really into, and I was like, yeah, like this lineup changed then, and then this guy came in, and like this is how I think it affected the sound. So like I love music, so I can talk for hours about music with people, especially if we have like kind of like at least a similar interest. Like if you're like a diehard jazz fan, I probably couldn't keep up with you in conversation, but like generally, you know, rock, metal, grunge, stuff like that, punk. I grew up listening to those things, so yeah, I know about all that stuff. So yeah, so sometimes it would just be something as simple as like, oh yeah, like what are you listening to right now? And I would literally be like, Tool, and then the person would be like, what? You listen to Tool? Like, you do not look like you listen to Tool. Because usually I'd be wearing like a flowery dress and, like I said before, like overly knee boots, and I just look like a normal girl, so to speak. So I really so that's why I never, pretty much all my life, I have never ever worn band t-shirts except for when I was like a kid. But once I was like 15, 16, and I started like, I was just in that music world all the time because like I said, I was either dating people or my friends were just doing that. I didn't really, yeah, like I said, I liked kind of standing out in that way where people wouldn't expect me to like whatever it was that I was talking about. So I've never worn band t-shirts, but now that I'm a mom, and most especially now that I'm just not, because of where I live now, even though I'm like with the person I'm with is a guitarist. That's what he does for a living. But because we're not really doing like the gig thing and stuff like that, like I have a lot of opportunity where I can just like wear a band t-shirt in my day-to-day life, and like I kind of like the feeling now of like expressing myself that way, and just yeah, I don't know, so I like it now. And I'm not doing that whole thing that I was doing before, so it feels cool to like go back. I haven't worn band t-shirts in probably like 20 years, but it feels fun to do that. So this might seem like a random purchase, or like I don't know what kind of purchase. Like maybe other people might buy band t-shirts all the time, but for me it was almost like a big moment, like a big statement of like, do you know what? I haven't like been around the music world for a long time. Not a long time, but like a few years now. And yeah, I just found myself like wanting to express myself through my clothes again, and just wearing cool stuff. And already today it's been the start of a lot of really good conversations, because I think like I don't know why people just don't expect it of you when they see you, especially like with bands like Tool and stuff. It's always just such a good conversation starter, because I literally had like 3 guys today like be like, hey, like cool t-shirt, like I like awesome. And it's just like such a good conversation starter, because like, I mean, not that I'm trying to go around starting conversations with people like randomly, but I'm just trying to say like, I don't know, there's something nice about that. There's something nice about like, you just have that connection, not connection, but like just like that chat with someone where they're like, oh cool, I love that band too. And for me, especially with bands like Tool, which I wouldn't say, I know they're like super famous, but I wouldn't say, and I think that was another reason why I never really wanted to wear band t-shirts either. I didn't want to like feed into, you know, I think there's a lot of people that wear stuff like that, but I don't know how deeply they actually listen to the music, whereas I could literally name you pretty much all of their songs. I was trying to learn some of them on the drums, which, yeah, I think if you listen to Tool, you will know what an ordeal that is. And I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about like the super intense ones. I'm talking about just even more simple stuff like Eulogy. Yeah, so anyway, as you can see, I can talk about music forever, so I'm gonna leave that there. That is why I bought band t-shirts. But really, moving past that, I'm trying to show you that when I do make a purchase, it means something. So it's very, very, very rare, in fact, probably impossible for me to make a flippant purchase, for me to add something to my closet that means nothing, is a throwaway item, is maybe just for one season. It's super unlikely for me to do that. Just because of how strict I am with my minimalism. So I know that if I do that, number one, it's wasteful. Number two, if it doesn't mean anything to me, I'll probably end up getting rid of it. So then, I don't know, I might have to rebuy something else. It's a waste of money. Like, it just doesn't, it's just not what I do. So yeah, I've shared that story with you because it's funny, but also because I'm trying to show you, like, if I buy something, it is something that I know I'm going to use for a long time, and it means something. It's usually, or I need it for a reason. For example, when I bought sweaters last, I didn't have any sweaters. I had one sweater. So like, you know, you need more than, I would say you need more than one sweater in your life. So yeah, so that's my story with that. And then I talked about the dresses that I had before. They're all kind of in that same style, that kind of same midi dress style. These are actually organic cotton. I got them on ASOS for, you're not gonna believe this, like £11. The bargain of the century. 100% organic cotton, ASOS, £11. And you can see a running theme here. There's a lot of black. I actually got rid of black from my wardrobe for quite a long time. Again, same reason as what I said before. I didn't want to look like everybody else. I really liked kind of standing out, wearing colors, wearing flowery dresses, like looking really different to a lot of the other girls that were in that, I mean, really, for lack of a better word, the music industry kind of thing, music world. I don't know like how else to describe it, but like, yeah, you're just around people that are doing gigs, setting up shows like all the time. You're just like around people like that all the time. And everyone pretty much wears black and they wear band t-shirts. So I kind of moved away from black for years. Like, I don't even think there's been anything black in my closet for, I don't want to say decades, but I'm going to say at least a decade, like at least 10 years. I've not had anything black in my closet, but I don't know, I'm just feeling the vibes lately. I'm feeling a bit darker. I'm feeling like I need to bring some of that darkness back. And so let me show you them full length and I'll put them on. so this one's got like a really nice kind of like flutter sleeve detail thing. But yeah, I just thought it was something really easy, very much in like my my style or taste of things that I like to wear. I just find these really easy as a mom to put on. They're not tight or restrictive, they're comfortable. If you're still breastfeeding, it's really easy to breastfeed with stuff like this as well. So, but you look quite put together because at the end of the day, you're just wearing a nice dress. So, but you know, it feels like a nightgown or something. It's very comfortable. They weren't labeled as organic cotton. I just checked that the fabric composition was cotton, and then when it arrived, the tags said 100% organic cotton, which I was shocked at. So the brand is called Cotton On. I don't know if they always do organic cotton stuff or it was just a coincidence or what, but that's what these are. So yeah, that's what I got. A couple of new, you can see the tag still there because I have not worn this one yet. It just arrived like 2 days ago. And I've been wearing like the tank toppy one because it's been so hot again. But yeah, it's nice, easy, comfortable, kind of like can't go wrong kind of thing. So, well, in my opinion, the way I like to dress. Yeah, to wrap it up, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the new bits that I got. I hope you've enjoyed kind of learning a little bit about the process of why or how, when I buy things and like how I choose to buy things. And like, yeah, just to finish off, the things that I do to make sure that my closet stays minimal and simple is usually 1 in, 1 out. Sometimes 1 in, 3 out. I can be quite ruthless because it's more important to me to make sure that things fit, number one. So sometimes purchases will be made whenever there's a period where my body has changed and stuff doesn't fit me for any reason. In cases like that, then I know like, okay, I've got to buy something, and I might not get rid of the other 2 or 3 things. I might just like put them to the side. But then if I see like, it's actually unlikely that I would fit into them again, that's when I then donate them. But usually my general rule is like 1 in, at least 1 out. But now that my closet is so pared back, it's more about knowing what I buy, why I buy it, when I buy it, thinking through its purpose and its use. So every like purchase is very well thought out, and that helps a lot more than just having a 1 in, 1 out rule. Because like I said before, the 1 in, 1 out rule can become kind of like quite wasteful, because you can say, maybe you haven't bought anything for 2 months, but then you're like, you see some cute little bits and you're like, actually, I'd love to have that. And you take it back home with you and you haven't thought through the purchase that well. And in 2 months, you're kind of bored of it and something else comes along and you bring those things in and those other things go out. So that's very common. And like I said, in order to avoid that, I'd rather think more about why I'm buying something, and what its use is going to be. Like, okay, will this work for winter? How will it work in the winter? Is it just for summer? And is that okay with me? All those kind of things. I try and think about what the purchase is rather than just getting something and then knowing, well, I'll get rid of whatever I have to make room for it. That's not really my approach. So yeah, I think my number one tip to keeping a minimal wardrobe would be like, think through your purchases before you make them really carefully. And the things that I think of, like I said, are, is it multi-use? Like, can I use it for more than one season? Can I use it for more than one type of event or occasion? Or is it like, you know, is it like a sparkly dress that is only going to be maybe for fancy occasions, or I don't know, you know, New Year's Eve parties, or you know what I'm trying to say. Like, the use of the item is like the first thing I think of, like how useful is it throughout different seasons, different occasions. Then I also think about practicalities, like how practical is it to take it on and off? How practical is it for like my life? Does it suit me if I have to breastfeed? Does it work if, you know, whatever it might be? Does it work if I'm going to be running around after my toddler? Is it comfortable that I can move around and get down on the floor? So everyone's going to have their own kind of like things that they think of, but I think that's what really helps to keep your wardrobe minimal in the first place after you declutter, is every time you buy something, think very carefully. Don't just buy stuff without thinking about these things. How's it going to work? What are you going to use it for? Does it really fit your life? Like, is it an item you can actually wear day in and day out in your life? Or is it just like, you'll use it sometimes. And again, everyone's gonna have the kind of things that matter to them. You might be like, I don't mind wearing an item once in a while, and that's fine. But I'm just trying to come from a place of like, if you really want something minimal, then definitely think very carefully about the things that I've said. So you don't just make a random or like, not so much a random purchase, but so that you can make the most thoughtful purchase as possible. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed, hopefully you found the tips useful, hopefully you found it quite motivational to see that you don't need to have a lot of stuff in order to have a quite versatile wardrobe, and definitely a wardrobe that sees you through all 4 seasons. And whenever I update anything, I'll make another update video as well. So yes, happy minimalism, and see you in the next video. Bye.